Hello chess friends and welcome to Azarov's chess channel and welcome to my best chess games of all time series. So in this series we'll see the best of the best chess games that have been ever played in chess history. So today I wanted to show you a very nice game played by Lev Milman. And Lev Milman, he's really a strong player from the USA. Here he played against Joseph Fang in 2005 with the white pieces. And I read some things about this guy Lev Milman. He's also a strong poker player, but I think he's still a stronger chess player than he's a poker player. He's not so good ranked in the world ranking list in poker, but of course I wish him the best also in poker. Although I know how to play poker, I'm not so good in poker. Believe me, I'm not a good poker player. I try to play chess better, of course, but really in poker I'm not nothing special. So okay, let's see now Lev Milman's masterpiece here with the white pieces. Here played e4, we have c6, the Caro Kann defense, d4 and d5. And one of my subscribers asked me a couple of days ago when will I cover this Caro Kann defense, and I'll do that, but really in a distant future, because there is this problem about this Caro Kann defense. I really don't like it, because you see why? Because it's this main line, this Spassky line, it's called also the Spassky line that I'll show you in this game. Well, it's so forced, and white gets always this space on the king side, which I don't like. And let's see now this continuation. We have knight on c3, d takes e4, knight takes e4, and now bishop on f5. So this is the main line. You get here knight on g3 attacking the bishop, and now you get bishop on g3. And now with this move h4, you see this bishop on g6 is really vulnerable to your attacks. It's really an object, and you see white can really gain some space, and you have this after maybe h5 moves, you have even possibilities to play early rook list in the opening. So I've seen many rook lists, many sacrifices on the square f7 in this line. So I really don't like it from black's perspective, because white gets this space too much here, and he gets his space in an early stage of the game, which is also important. So here h6, now we have knight on f3 by Lev Milman, the simply developing move, and knight from b to d7. So now h5, you see we have here bishop on h7, and the problem is it's not so easy for you to push here maybe the move the pawn on g6 to break somehow the space advantage, because then you get here this open h file, and of course an attack on this weak pawn on h6. So okay, it's really here bishop on d3, still mainline theory here, of course. This is this called Spassky variation. Now well, black is forced to trade the bishops, because if the bishop takes here on h7, then the rook takes, and then you get queen on d3, and of course why black is not gonna castle anymore on the king side. So of course here bishop on d3, queen takes on d3, now e6. We have bishop on f4, and here black tried bishop on b4 with the check, but of course you get c3. And okay, black's idea is probably here, if white tries queenside castle here, he has already weakened his castle king with the move c3, which is not a bad idea. But of course you have to see where you're gonna castle as black. You see white has already created an attack here on the king side with the move h5. And it's not so easy, of course, to castle here on the queen side with this very nice bishop, which is controlling this very good diagonal. So you see black has this problem to castle, and that's why I don't like this Caro Kann defense. So believe me or not, but I've never played it, I've never analyzed it of course I played it a couple of times in some casual games, but I really haven't played it in tournament or something. So here bishop on e7, played by black. Now queenside castling, and now knight on f6. Now king on b1, securing his king, because as I said, we have already played here the move c3, and already weakened our castle king. So now black tries kingside castling. And now we get this opposite side attack game. Then of course this games of course I like, because white is trying an attack here on the king side. Then though of course black is gonna try here an attack on the queen side. So that are the basic ideas in this opposite side attacks. And now of course knight on e5. Here maybe the best move for black would have been to take the knight on e5. Then white is forced to take with the bishop, of course. If white takes with the pawn, that leads really to simplifications here after a trade of queens. So he should have probably taken, and then white is forced to take with the bishop. But now this bishop, although it's good placed, it can also be maybe traded here, traded with the moves as bishop on d6, and really it leads to simplification. Then after that it's harder for white to attack on the castle king. So here, instead of knight takes on e5, well, black tried c5 to open somehow this position, and now we get queen on f3. Very good move, I think, because now the rook is on the same file as the queen, and if the situation opens somehow in the center of the board, of course this queen on d8 will be endangered, and that's why black tried queen on b6. Now we have knight takes on d7, knight takes on d7, and here of course it's not good to take d takes c5, because the knight can simply recapture and then maybe go here on an annoying square on a4, which can of course create immediately checkmate threats on b2. So that's why white closed the position. Lev Milman closed the position with move d5. Of course he's not also allowing this bishop somehow to develop here on this very good square on a3, and also create checkmate threats on b2. So d5, I think a very nice move. And we have here e takes d5, and now Lev Milman doesn't take the pawn immediately. Of course here knight on f5, and now you see these three pieces here are forming a really nice attack: the queen, the bishop, and the knight here on the square h6. You see the knight and the bishop are aiming on the h6, so of course now the bishop here on e7 is attacked. So here bishop on f6, and now rook on d5. So now what to do here from black's perspective? The rook is now on an active square, the knight is also, the bishop, the queen. We have possibilities to even improve the position with rook on d1. So after that the white's pieces will be on the best possible squares on the board, and of course it's hard to defend against such a nice attacking setup. So you see, I don't think black made too many mistakes here, but really this that's why I've never come out of good in this Caro Kann defense. I don't know, that's just me, but I really don't like it. I don't know. You can of course show me your games, maybe in which you have destroyed your opponents in the Caro Kann defense. But as I said, I don't know. I really don't like it. Okay. Here, queen on e6, played by black. Here, and now Lev Milman finds a very nice move. Bishop takes on h6. If you play g takes h6, now you get a very nice move. Bishop, rook on d6, attacking the queen, and the queen has to go maybe here on e5, and you can simply recapture the knight. And if the queen, of course, goes here maybe on e8, you can simply take the bishop on f6. If the knight takes on f6, well, you get then checkmated here on with move queen on g3. Then the king has to go here on h7, and you get checkmated on g7. So that's why after bishop takes on h6, well, black didn't react, and he played here the move knight on e5, attacking the queen. Now we have queen on e4, and now knight on c6. Well, black is trying here desperately, of course, to trade some pieces, because as I said, white has a really nice attacking formation here. And now queen on f3. Now knight on e5. Again, black is trying to repeat the moves and of course gain a draw here. Again, queen on e4, knight on c6, and now Lev Milman decided to play queen on g4. He probably calculated it now, because maybe in the first move, in the first repetition of moves, he didn't calculate it well. So now he left his rook hanging, and now Joseph Fang took the rook on d5, and now of course bishop takes on g7. Of course you cannot take with bishop, you get checkmated here on g7, and here queen on d3 was played. Now king on a1, and now knight on e5, attacking the queen, and now you get a very nice combination by Lev Milman. First move, knight on e7 with the check. If the bishop takes on e7, then you get bishop on e5 with the discover check. You see you can only bring your queen maybe here on g6, but of course you can take here with the pawn. So if the bishop comes in between, but basically well, you see black is lost here. If you go somewhere with the king, you get checkmated again on the square g7. So here, of course, after knight on e7, well, black is forced to go with the king here on h7, and now you get one of the best queen sacrifices that you'll see probably in chess history. You get queen on g6. With every piece you take, you get the same. Here, Joseph Fang played f takes g6. Now you get h takes g6 with a double check. So of course, black has to take the bishop on g7, which he did in the game, and now you get rook takes on h7, checkmate. Very nice. You see, well, white managed to get a checkmate here with the rook, knight, and this pawn, this very nice pawn on g6. So this was a really nice attack played by our poker player Lev Milman. So I hope you enjoyed this game. Meanwhile, of course, you can watch my other best chess games of all time, and of course you can also watch my chess tactics and chess puzzles if you want to play also very nice tactics like Lev Milman. And of course, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks you for watching, and chess is the best.